This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 12th day of January in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. One day after the Education Ministry denounced the physical attack on a Graham's Hall primary school teacher by a parent, another teacher has been physically assaulted by a parent. The latest incident took place this morning at the St. Angela's Primary School in Georgetown. According to the president of the Guyana Teachers Union, Mark Light, the female teacher was attacked and beaten by a parent of a pupil who attends the school.
The teacher received some injuries, and the medical practitioners reported something, but we were seeing scars and her face is swollen. The security guard as well has been injured. Other staff members who tried to intervene.
The injured teacher was taken to a hospital in the city for medical attention. The GTU president said the Ministry of Education must do more to safeguard teachers and take decisive actions to prevent such occurrences.
Even is here in solidarity with the teachers of the school. This is becoming too frequent, where teachers are being assaulted by parents and guardians. And it is something that has to be addressed totally. So we are going to continue to make the call to the ministry to take this.
And GTU General Secretary Coretta MacDonald, who was also present at the school this morning, condemned the assault. She challenged the Education Ministry to not only issue strong warnings to parents, but to be consistent in its response to the attacks.
We just had QC, not a sound. The minister, not entirety, not a sound. If we are to debar parents from doing what they're doing, then we have to be consistent with our cause. And we have to take stern actions against the spirit. We can't do it for one parent and not do it for another parent because of their so-called statuses. We have to deem parents when they do wrong things, we have to call them out.
The GTU General Secretary said stern action must be taken against parents who are guilty of assaulting teachers. Just yesterday, the Education Ministry expressed grave concern over the physical assault of a graduate teacher, Sean Marshall, at the Graham's Hall Primary School. The ministry said whatever the circumstances, it is a reprehensible and ghastly act, and it is unacceptable and will not be condoned. According to the Chief Education Officer, Saddam Hussein, when parents or guardians are engaged in violent acts against teachers, it goes against established values and expectations. He said persons cannot be teachers, then ask those same teachers to teach their children. He assured that the Education Ministry will take appropriate action to ensure all teachers continue to work in a safe and secured environment. More news coming up in just a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Giftland Office Max, we're all about customer satisfaction. Whether it's clothing and shoes for the ladies, gents, and kids, or for the latest electronics or hardware appliance, we're always thinking of satisfying you, our dear customers. Now you can shop online at www.giftlandofficemax.com or visit us at the Giftland Mall, where we're happy to serve each and every one of you.
Did you know that you can check your NIS contributions online? Simply visit our website at www.nis.org.gy. Click on the Create New Account button and enter the required information. An automatic email notification will be sent to acknowledge your application. Once your information is authenticated, you will receive an email within 48 hours with instructions on how to access the site. Once logged in, you can click on the My Contributions tab on the left side of the screen to view your contributions. For further information, you can call our Records Department on 225-2798 or visit your nearest NIS office.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Welcome back. The Christchurch Secondary School on Middle Street was gutted by fire this afternoon, days after there was a small fire in one of the school's science laboratories. Just after 5:30 this afternoon, the fire service was summoned to the school after heavy smoke was seen billowing from a section of the bottom flat of the school. Within minutes, the fire quickly spread to the upper flat and engulfed the entire wooden building. The fire service was prompt in its response, but was left hamstrung by the unavailability of working fire hydrants in the area. Education Minister Priya Manak Chand and Chief Education Officer Saddam Hussein were both on the scene, expressing shock over the secondary school being ravaged by fire. The Georgetown Mayor Ubraj Naran was also down at the scene, expressing concern about the fire. Tonight, there are questions about whether last week's fire at the same school was properly investigated and whether a complete sweep of the school's electrical system was done. An investigation has been launched into this evening's fire. Let's tell you now that less than 1 week after she watched the government bulldoze her home at Caneview, Mucka Arcadia, single mother LaShonda Ellis has now found herself jobless after being fired by the Home Affairs Ministry for protesting the demolition of her home. Speaking with News Source today, Ms. Ellis, who served as a data entry clerk at the Providence Police Station, said she was served with a dismissal letter today over her protest to prevent being moved during the demolition exercise by the government.
I'm without a home, I'm without a job. I don't know what is the next step for me or the next move for me right now. Not that I have to take care of my child. I don't know. Maybe I want to tell you on the phone right now because I don't see how I'm treated right now. I don't have words.
In the termination letter dated the 10th of January, the Home Affairs Ministry's Principal Personnel Officer, Eureka Duncan, told Ms. Ellis that her service is no longer needed. A Ministry of Home Affairs official said Ms. Ellis was caught on camera assaulting a police officer during a protest, and a complaint was filed with the ministry. The Ministry of Home Affairs said that she acted in a manner that brings the ministry into disrepute, hence its decision to terminate her services. She was one of the 7 families whose homes were demolished by the Central Housing and Planning Authority last Thursday, amid fierce confrontation between the police and irate protesters. Before her single-flat wooden home with all of its valuables was reduced to rubble, Ellis locked herself in the building in objection. Having lived in Caneview for well over 20 years, she vowed to protect her home, but she was eventually forcibly removed from the building before it was taken apart by the authorities. Prior to the demolition exercise, the Ministry of Housing and Water had offered to compensate the squatters by providing them with either financial compensation or housing units. However, according to Ellis, the affected residents have not heard anything from the ministry since the demolition exercise. Many of them are seeking shelter at relatives and friends in the area. Former government minister Simona Brooms, through her Simona Brooms Foundation, has been offering assistance to the residents by providing food and clothing. Ms. Brooms told News Source that in offering support to the affected residents, she has received assistance from local businessmen and other overseas-based Guyanese. She said they are now being provided with hot meals on a daily basis. Turning her attention to the dilemma now facing Ms. Ellis, Brooms said the decision to fire the single parent is unconscionable. She said there is a general feeling of hopelessness among the affected.
It's your time to win big. Spend $2,000 or more at any Massey stores to enter our Christmas jackpot promotion. You can be the lucky winner of a brand new Nissan X-Trail. You can also win a sofa set, Samsung gas stove, motorcycle, $300,000 in cash, or a fabulous weekend trip for two. Shop now until January 31st for a chance to hit Massey's Christmas jackpot. Check out our Facebook, Instagram, or website for more details.
Well, over 300 squatters living along the sea defense reserves on the east bank of the Demerara have been told that they will all be relocated within the next 6 months. According to the Housing Ministry, 317 structures, including 57 owned by Venezuelan migrants, are under reserves at Little Diamond, Great Diamond, Grove, Herstelling Sea Dam, Farm Sea Dam, and Covent Garden. Of the 317 structures, close to 30 are reportedly unoccupied. On Wednesday, the Minister of Housing and Water, Colin Crowell, announced the government's intention to relocate the squatters while engaging them together with the Central Housing and Planning Authority and the Sea and River Defense Board. That meeting took place at the Little Diamond Herstelling NDC. It was explained that the reserves, which fall under the purview of the Ministry of Public Works, are regarded as zero-tolerance areas and are therefore unsuitable for housing development. Continuous occupation, the authorities explained, will impede drainage works, which can result in flooding and also affect access to critical areas. In making the announcement, the housing minister said government's response to squatting is not based on race or politics, but rather an assessment carried out by the Ministry of Housing and other agencies to determine whether regularization or relocation is the best option. According to the Minister of Housing, the relocation and resettlement program will provide the squatters with 4 main housing options: existing turnkey move-in ready homes, house lots at Great Diamond, or land allocations and other schemes. Additionally, the Housing Ministry said Venezuelan immigrants will be assisted with building through the Men on Mission initiative. The Central Housing and Planning Authority's Chief Executive Officer Sherwin Greaves noted that each household will be provided with the necessary assistance to facilitate the relocation to wholesome housing schemes. The Housing Ministry said the Central Housing and Planning Authority will be monitoring the areas to ensure that no new structures are being erected. The acting chancellor of the local judiciary, Justice Janet Cummings, has indicated that a shortage of judges within the judicial system has resulted in the remaining judges being overworked, as she made a strong case for the swift establishment of the Judicial Service Commission.
We need more judges. We need the Judicial Service Commission to be established ASAP, as soon as possible. We are facing increased caseloads. Judges are now overburdened, they are exhausted, they're nearly worn out, and they are, in some cases, burned out. We have had psychologists come in to do psychosocial therapy, especially during the COVID years, but that in itself cannot help. We need to have more persons on board to assist us in carrying out our mandate of providing justice.
The acting chancellor made those remarks on Tuesday as she addressed the ceremonial opening of the Demerara Assizes. She said the already limited pool of judges has been further depleted with the retirement of Justice Franklin Holder last September and Justice Brasington Reynolds in November. Another judge, she noted, is expected to retire soon. Justice Cummings said the local judiciary is in desperate need of human resources to effectively execute its mandate.
We do not need the rhetoric. We need the laborers. We need the judges. We've been hearing time again about the JSC soon to be established. We would like to see the implementation and the establishment of the Judicial Service Commission.
And Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George said while the Supreme Court of Guyana is committed to doing better, it cannot ignore the fact that there is only a small pool of judges.
We can and must do better. Of course we can. Of course we must. However, with an extremely heavy caseload, in particular, among other challenges, we are doing the best we can in the circumstances. As an example, on average, a civil judge would oversee a constant docket of about 200 to 400 cases at any one time throughout the year, managing cases for all 3 counties.
Currently, there are 3 judges assigned to the Court of Appeal and 11 High Court judges. However, as stated by the Chancellor, a judge is expected to retire soon. The president of the Guyana Bar Association, Pauline Chase, said in order for the local judiciary to give effect to this year's theme, Serving People, Providing Justice, it is imperative that the institutional structures are supported, sufficient, and strong.
The absence of the full complement of judges in the High Court and Court of Appeal, due to the absence of a Judicial Service Commission to appoint judges, severely undermines the administration of justice. We are now at about half of our statutory complement of judges, with the retirement of 2 more judges since we last met at this forum.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal said he is painfully aware of the shortage of judges, and the government will move to establish the Judicial Service Commission within the first quarter of this year.
I want to assure that very, very early this year, within the first, long before the end of the first quarter of this year, we will have appointed the Judicial Service Commission and the Public Service Commission, 2 important constitutional commissions that will address the inadequacy of human resources that currently plague the judicial institution.
There are 174 cases to be heard during the current assizes. 61 of those cases are for the offense of murder.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Canada has delivered armored vehicles to Haiti to help combat criminal gangs as the Caribbean nation faces a humanitarian crisis. Canadian military aircraft made a delivery to the Haitian National Police in the capital of Port-au-Prince. Haitian gangs have seized control of much of the country since the 2021 assassination of President Jovenel Moïse, leading to routine gun battles with police. Hundreds have died in turf battles, and in September, Haitian gangs blocked a fuel terminal for nearly 6 weeks, halting most economic activity across the country. Canada and the US have provided tactical and armored vehicles and other supplies after Haiti urged the international community to send in a specialized armed force. Brazilian President Lula da Silva has accused ex-leader Jair Bolsonaro's allies of aiding an attack on the presidential palace on Sunday. Lula said he was convinced that supporters of Mr. Bolsonaro inside the palace had been complicit by allowing rioters to enter key state buildings, and he has vowed to carry out a thorough screening of palace employees in wake of the attempted insurrection. Some 1,500 people have already been detained in connection with the attack. In wake of the attack on Sunday, Lula accused local security officials, who were commanded by Mr. Bolsonaro's former justice minister, of incompetence or active involvement with the rioters. He said the palace appeared full of Bolsonaro supporters. And finally tonight, international news. A sharp drop in energy prices, in particular petrol, is helping to ease cost of living pressures in the U.S. U.S. inflation was 6.5% over the 12 months to the end of December, down from 7.1% in November, the U.S. Labor Department said today. That was the smallest increase in more than a year and marked the 6th month in a row that the pace dropped. Some items, such as oranges and bananas, even saw outright price falls in December compared with November. Overall, prices slipped 0.1% over the month, driven by the fall in petrol prices. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.